All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We are looking at July 21st to July 27th. Lots going on astrologically this week. Let's see what our cards have to say. A lot going on astrologically this week. Ooh, befriend your fear monster. Okay. Fear is an indicator. You've certainly seen this somewhere on the internet where it's been like face everything and rise, or I don't even know what the actual fear. I couldn't even tell you that because my mindset has shifted so much. But you know how they've used it as an acronym: face, fuck everything and whatever, or face everything and rise. Fuck everything and retreat. I might have just made that up, but I don't know. We're gonna go with it. There is a lot going on this week, starting with a full moon, starting with a full moon, our second full moon in Capricorn. So pretty significant energy that we're starting the week on, especially because we have been restructuring something since that last full moon. Now we're really getting a nice dose of this energy. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Face everything and rise. Befriend your fear monster by facing everything and rising. And it's not a monster. It's like, then it's your friend. Okay. I felt like that's the card that we needed to start on. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Cool. Cool cards this week. Okay. Sunday, we've got the full moon. Second full moon in Capricorn this year. Second moon in Capricorn this year. That full moon energy, as we are approaching the end of Cancer season, this is about making your dreams known. This is about taking action. Cancer is domesticity. It's mom with a capital M. Capricorn is patriarch with a capital P, underline. But really, it's like when I think about these two energies together, I'm like girl boss, like hustle, boy mom. I don't know, like that energy. I don't mean to make fun. I'm saying that very facetiously. It really feels like girl boss. That type of energy. It's a really like the masculine and the feminine working together in order to create something out in the world. So it's a time to really let your dreams be known, especially if you've been following the last couple of weeks. If not, you should go back and watch them, because this has been like a story that has been unfolding for quite a bit now. It's also a time to take action. We've been taking action to let go of stuff on a mental, physical, emotional level, but we haven't really talked about moving forward yet. We've just talked about creating the plan, not putting the plan to action. So this full moon in Capricorn is like, okay, green light, go. Green light, go. And it's a really great energy to let your intellect lead, because both Capricorn and Cancer can be emotional energies. So this is a really great time because it's going to be touching in on Mercury at this point. It's a really great time to pull in your intellect and be like, okay, this is the pragmatism that I need to be as enterprising and as intuitive to get all the things that I want. The card that we got is the Five of Swords. There is still something that we are leaving behind now. Full moons are a great time to release. They're a great time to release. So this full moon energy, I think, is asking us once and for all to let go of that energy and to like literally bury it. I just heard like put it 6 feet under. You don't need to, you don't obviously need to bury it 6 feet under, but I kind of just felt like take your fears, take your doubts, all of that stuff, write it down and then bury it somewhere and like let the earth transmute it on its own. You don't need to deal with it anymore. I felt like this is like for once and for all, be done with this energy. That is Sunday. On Monday, the sun moves into Leo. So we end Cancer season. If you need energetic support for both the full moon and the Sun moving into Leo, Leo season energy. But if you need support or more energetic support and you like these videos, you should join my monthly Patreon, because there's all sorts of goodies in there that help you through these energies a little bit deeper. So we've just done like a little quick dive in this, but in my Patreon, there will be a meditation, there'll be an energetic breakdown by sign, so you'll also be able to say like, oh, I'm a Gemini, this is where it's hitting me, that where the energy is hitting in your chart. And there will be journal prompts, all that stuff. So there's a ton of energetic support. If you need it, go get it. Okay, it's low cost and it's there to help you to bring your energy into alignment when we're going through so many of these astrological transits week after week after week. Okay, then the sun moves into Leo. So we are leaving behind the cozy season of Cancer. We are ready to step out of the chateau and back out into the world, because Leo is that king or queen energy. They rule over charisma. It rules over the heart and leadership. So we've had time to sit in our shell and think about things and nurture things. And now it's time to put the spotlight. I always say Leo is like Miss Piggy. It's like wherever Leo is, wherever the spotlight is like where Miss Piggy wants to be. That's Leo energy. It wants to be seen, valued, respected, heard, all of that good stuff. And so the sun moves into Leo. The sun is comfortable in Leo. It's the natural planet, the natural ruler of Leo energy. So this is a really comfortable energy this time of the year. Now, our card is the Two of Pentacles. So there is a definitive change that's happening. Now, there is astrologically, we're going from Cancer season to, which it's really interesting because if you can see, it's yin and yang. It's, yang to yin. So it's literally the change between these energies, because yin is Cancer and yang is Leo, the sun. So that real masculine energy, right? So there is a literal change and a very big dramatic shifting, and Leos are dramatic. Again, Miss Piggy. A real dramatic shifting of the energy. But this to me also feels like a change that is happening for us, particularly around our money. It could be an inheritance. It could be a windfall. It could be all of a sudden you started to put something out into the world and it wasn't gaining traction, and I was starting to have doubts about it. And then all of a sudden, like overnight, it just gets that overnight success. Like that's what I'm hearing here, overnight success. So don't be afraid, because there's money coming in with this as well. The energy is supporting financial changes for people. Or if you've needed to make a change in your finances, or like you've been spending too much, this is asking you to look at that and start to acknowledge it, so you can put the plans in place that you need to in order to be more successful in the future, because Leo is lavish and they want to be successful. They are regal. They are elevated. So it might be like, stop making small little purchases and like save your money for like that big thing that's going to really energetically like boost your vibe all the way up. That's Monday. Sun moves into Leo. Tuesday, we've got Sun and Pluto in opposition to each other. So again, this is like abrasive energy. It's a bit of a challenge energy. Any kind of opposition, it's a power play. And that's exactly what this is. Pluto is the planet of the underworld. It is our subconscious landscape. It's getting down into the nitty gritty. It's like that. Think about like Persephone and Hades. It's like a morally gray character. It's really not. It's there to help us transform and transmute, but it is our shadow side. It is that shadow energy, whereas the sun is all illuminated. So we've got these power struggles between two major players energetically on the board. And there will be power struggles out in the world. There's just going to be, probably collectively, we're going to start seeing a lot of that this week. So pay attention to what's happening pop culturally. Pay attention to I'm filming this about a little over a month before this happens. So I can't even point to, but pay attention to what is happening politically, because this feels like some political power struggles. But just pay attention to what's happening pop culturally, or like out in your world where you're witnessing power struggles, even if they're not necessarily you on this day, on Tuesday. So there's that. And then our card is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this to me feels more like don't concede yet, but don't rush to harvest either. Typically, this card is about gaining something, but this to me feels like if you snatch it all up, the image psychically that I'm seeing right now is actually like almost like you gypped, like not that you gypped somebody, but almost like if you're playing poker with somebody and then somebody, gets the whole pot and they're like, that's it, I'm done. Like, we're cashing out on this. You might agree with it, but you might be like, come on, bro, like, put some of the chips back, let us play, or like, give us some of our money back, or like, are you being serious right now? It feels kind of like that type of energy, almost like a little sneaky, or like, don't let somebody pull the rug out from underneath you, but don't pull the rug out from somebody either. Just pause, especially anything financially, anything that's pertaining to contracts, whether you're buying a house, whether you're revamping your house or your home, signing new contracts at work, or changing positions, or joining a new job, or something like that. Or it could be around partnerships in any kind of way. Either way, especially if there's money involved, look at the fine print today, because to me, that's the type of energy that it feels like, ooh, somebody's trying to hoodwink. Like, that's the energy, or like there's a sleight of hand, like somebody who is trying to get away with something, or you could be trying to get away with something that you're going to be found out about later, and people around you are not going to be happy. So pay attention to that energy, wherever that's coming out for you. That's Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've got nothing significant astrologically. We've also got the Nine of Swords. You need to pay attention to sleep. You need to be taking enough time to decompress. You need to get out of your own head, really. But this to me feels like sleep. If you have been having trouble sleeping, I know this is a very specific message for some people, but if you have been having trouble sleeping, you need to actually make sure that there's time carved out in your day, even just to lay down and relax. Even if it's like sleep isn't coming, you need to make sure that you're getting enough rest. Rest is important. Sleep is the best, but even if you're not, there needs to be space in your day for you to take rests, or your energy is going to completely deplete and you're going to burn out. Don't burn out. This is a warning. This isn't indicative of burnout. It's indicative that you are heading towards it. So don't let that energy come to fruition. Take the breaks that you need and make sure that you are getting enough rest, and that you are checking in with your mind and your body. Your mind and your body. Your body has its own language, and it will speak to you and let you know when something is out of whack or out of alignment. You'll suddenly start to get headaches, or you'll have weird aches and pains that you don't normally get, or whatever. Pay attention to the language of your body and make sure that you are taking enough time to rest. Rest. Very specifically for some of you, I'm feeling headaches, either migraines or tension headaches or dehydration headaches. So also make sure you're drinking enough water. That's Wednesday. Thursday, we've got Mercury, the planet of communication, moving into one of its owners, Virgo. So these energies, again, really comfortable together. Virgo is one of the natural rulers of Mercurian energy, which rules over our thoughts, our process, thought process, our communication style, all that stuff. And Virgo rules over detail analytics, detail orientation. It's a very meticulous type of energy. So it's a really good time to put this is the way the cookie crumbles, whatever cookie needs to crumble that way. It's also a great day if on Tuesday you needed to take a time out from contracts. This is a great day to sign away. Great day to sign away because you will see it clearly today, whereas you might not have when the Sun and the Pluto were in opposition to each other. Now, no coincidences, then we get the Sun reversed. So the Sun being our focus for the month ahead, but also the Sun energy is letting us know that there is something that is going to come to fruition in Leo season around this energy of, over the next 3 weeks or so that Mercury is in Virgo. We're supposed to be bringing something that brings us joy, vitality, passion, creativity to fruition. But today is the precipice of that thing. We've sort of been in the precipice of this for a while, but this feels like a real stake in the ground and like we're working towards it. It's a really nice energy, actually. I really like that. Okay, Friday we've got Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Oops, Watson wanted to come in for that one because he knew we were going to need some love and some support. So this is really where I'm feeling like this card, Befriend Your Fear Monster, is coming into play. Okay, Bubba's. Yeah, just lay down. Okay, I'm sorry. His big old butt is, I hope some of you watching this have cats and I hope you can resonate. You're very handsome and you're very cute. This is where this Friday energy is really where Befriend Your Fear Monster is coming to fruition, because Chiron is our wounded healer. It's a bruise that we have that we just keep poking and poking and poking and poking. And then we're like, why won't it heal? It just doesn't feel good. It hurts, right? Yeah, because we keep poking it. Eventually, when we stop poking it, it has space to heal. And then we can tokenize it as a piece of knowledge, learned experience that we can gift to other people because we've already gone through that. Let me save you the heartache, the trouble, the trauma, whatever. I've gone through this. Let me offer this guidance to you. You can't control that, but you can offer it as a tokenized piece of wisdom because it is learned experience through Chiron, through the wounded healer. It heals through the wound. Now, this is retrograding, which is a time of reflection in Aries, which is pertaining to Chiron and Aries, and it will be there until 2026. So we've got some time in this energy. It is triggering our collective and sacred rage. So if you've been like, what? Why is it that like people are just on 10 all the time? Yeah, it's Chiron and Aries. We are all individually in our own way, because we all have this energy happening somewhere in our chart. In our own way, we are being pushed to heal our rage, and it is sacred because anger is an indicator that a boundary was crossed. So when it comes to this, especially when it comes to Chiron retrograde in Aries, if you find that you have been dealing with anger in a particular way and it's a strategy that is no longer working, with Mercury in Virgo now, it's like revamp the strategy. Revamp the strategy and learn how to deal with your anger in a way that is healthy, not in a way that dismantles the integrity of your relationships, not in a way that puts you into more stress, not in a way that puts you on damage control. There are healthy ways to deal with anger and rage. And this Chiron in Aries going retrograde is asking you to figure out what you need to be doing in order to deal with that anger. Now, the beautiful thing about this is we got a lovely card. We got the star card. If you can figure out where to direct that sacred rage, where you direct it is important. You can't just be mad at everybody and everything all the time. But you can be mad at the right people and let that anger drive you. Anger, while it's an indicator, it's also an incredible motivator when used correctly. And Chiron retrograde in Aries is like, hey, Aries is the warrior. It's like D'Artagnan. I always say it's like D'Artagnan because he's my favorite musketeer. With that energy, right? D'Artagnan is the best musketeer. He defends what he needs to defend. He comes into a story because somebody's wronged his family. That's how he comes into the musketeers. That's how he finds his found family. Through his rage and needing somewhere to put it. So they're like, you want somewhere to take it? Like, great. You defended your family here. Here's a sword. Go defend your family there. You are sharpening your blade, but you need to sharpen your sword and forge it in the right fire to wield against the right enemy. I know this is like very strong language. I'm just going with the metaphor. This is not literal. Don't take it literally. I'm being metaphorical. I feel like I need to say that because this is going out on the internet, you know? So I'm not talking about literal swords or war or anything like that here. I am very specifically talking about your anger being forged in the correct way to wield against the right people that you should be angry at, right? Like if you are feeling frustrated and angry at your job that you don't have enough money to pay for 1,000,001 service subscriptions because you want to stream all these shows that are happening, but you can't afford $20 a month for all of these streaming services, you shouldn't be mad at your job for not paying you more money. Maybe you should be. Maybe you should be. You should be mad at the streaming services for consistently raising their prices and not giving us any extra value. Put your energy, this is something, if you have been following me for a while, you know that like my Age of Aquarius takedown is the streaming services. Fuck the streaming services. Anyway, this is telling us to put it in the right place because we can affect change in a really positive way if we can actually use our rage as a fire to flame fan our passion or to actually be able to right a wrong. Specifically what I'm hearing. Great. That's Friday. Saturday, we've got the Nine of Wands reversed. Now you know where you need to go direct that energy, but you're going to have to create a system and a structure to actually support the change that you need. Some of this can be personal, like, oh, I'm recognizing that I've been handling my anger like X, Y, or Z. And so now I need to get creative about how I'm going to start dealing with my anger. Or it can be like, I see the real problem here, and we need to take down the system and structure and rebuild it in a way that's more equitable, more fair, in a way that actually supports people. Like, this system isn't working anymore. Great. If you're angry that a system isn't working for a large community of people, a large collective of people, if that's what's happening for you during this Chiron retrograde in Aries, this is telling you to start to make a plan about where you can revamp that energy and start to build new structures and new systems that actually do support people. Get creative, baby. You got it. Love you guys. See you next week.